It's time for discussions. Welcome to episode 2 of the Discussions podcast. I just wanted to use this one as another little introduction to explain to you where I'm at in my entrepreneurial journey, so that as we learn from this podcast, we can learn and grow together. So about midway through this year, I had a spinal fusion surgery, and I was in bed for 1 month after that. As a 28-year-old man, I started playing Fortnite again because I couldn't leave my bed. I was kind of out of options. But that kind of is a checkpoint for me, because after that, it's been going really hard on the desk clarity business. So I like to think of myself as having 6 months of product development, writing a book or writing 3 books, and creating online courses, and then 6 months of, trying to grow the business, which is the customer journey, the branding, the social media marketing, and the digital advertising, etc. And I'm right at the beginning of it. I'm early on in my ramp up of sales, so plenty of improvement left and ready to learn. Lots to learn. And what I hope to get out of this podcast is not just lessons from, what people have done, which will help spark ideas for me, but I also want to get just some general inspiration. I firmly believe that when we surround ourselves with positive people and big thinkers and successful people, our brain is going to become in tune with theirs, and we're going to have no choice but to think more positively, think bigger, and think more optimistically, which ties me into a discussion I had with my best friend lately. So I'll listen to motivational speakers and I guess TikTok equivalents of that, and I firmly agree that our circle of 5 friends is our net worth. So your network is your net worth, and probably if we took the bank account of our 5 people we spend the most times with, ours would be the average of that. For a lot of people, this would apply, because I see it happen all the time with diet, with gym, with fashion. Your mates will give you a little bit of a hard time if you do something too incorrect with the trajectory of the group. So, for example, when my friend spoke about eating KFC too many days in a row, I just instinctively replied, that doesn't sound like you. Like you never do that. And then when I was wearing the wrong shoes, he pointed out to me that I needed to fix my fashion because I was looking a bit dorky. And it made me happy. I said, I got to be really thankful for this, because if he hadn't have ripped on me, and it kind of hurts for like 5 minutes when you realize you've made a mistake, but having a good group of friends to correct you like that is so important, because now I'm probably more attractive now that I've changed those shoes. And it's because my friend gave me that little bit of a course correction. And then he's probably eating healthier because I gave him that slight course correction away from KFC, for example. And I wonder if that applies to all aspects: business, family, positive thinking, etc. I'm sure it does. So I had to think to myself, I do fully agree that hanging out with more positive and more successful people will benefit me. But how do you do that? It's such an uncommon thing, someone actively going out to hang out with more positive people. But I thought I'll give it a try. So, for example, I have this app idea in the back of my mind that I've got a MVP, minimum viable product, created for it. So it's far from functional, but it's a techie idea. And I know that there's a local innovation hub, a tech hub. So instead of working from home that day, what I did was I said, today I'm going to go and surround myself with tech entrepreneurs and successful people who've created their own businesses. So I went to the Gold Coast Innovation Hub, and it was awesome. Someone came and sat with me. We spoke about their new brand that they're just about to launch. They invited me to lunch with them. And I was at lunch with 3 guys from a successful startup, and I was thinking, it was great to listen to them, because the way these tech guys were speaking about, getting funding. So things that a lot of us would think would be impossible, getting $1 million funding or more. They kind of just make it sound like part of the process. You come up with an idea, you test it in the market, you take that to angel investors, and you've got your funding. And you just repeat that through the different stages. And a lot of us think that's impossible to come up with an app. We think that's like winning the lottery, but they just make it sound like it's a day-to-day business. So I was really impressed that it was so rapid and so quick. All I did was drive to Innovation Hub and rent a casual desk for $30. And a couple hours later, I was at lunch with people that changed my thinking completely. I went home thinking, if they're going to develop an app and it's that easy to then take to investors, I've done that first step. I did my small amount of app development. I could just take this to investors. Like, whether or not it succeeds or not I haven't calculated the probability of that yet, but that's what I could do. I could just do that next step, which I hadn't thought of before. And none of my close friends are in the tech space, so they wouldn't have sent me in that direction. And I wonder if that general idea or how far you can push that idea of surrounding yourself with more successful, more positive people. I'm very lucky that I have an incredible group of friends that are still all my same best friends from high school. So I can't fathom the idea of not hanging out with them anymore. But I wonder if supplementary to that, I just make time in my week to spend more time with my new friends in the tech industry and explore some other industries. So that's one idea, is go to your innovation hub. And if I just brainstorm now, my usual trick, I guess, if you move to a new city, I'd tell someone to join some sports teams and join some meetup groups. So maybe I might check out some meetup groups and see who hangs around the investing, the finance circles, who hangs around I've already done the tech circles, but I'm sure there's other business owner, business founder type circles. And I think it's that easy. I'll test it out and report back with if it works or not, but I can't argue with the philosophy that we're probably all the average wealth of our 5 closest friends. And I'd like to extend that out to health and other things. And I can't help but to have the urge to see if I can increase that influence I'm getting from my surroundings and who I am, obviously, as well. So I challenge you to think about, if you're hanging out with the right people. Obviously, it's super hard to give up close friends. I don't even recommend that, especially because I can't fathom giving up my incredible friends. But maybe if you've got some bad friends that you know are kind of dragging you down, feel free to allocate your hours in the week that you have to hang out to more successful people. And then, as I said before, how do you find those successful people? Just brainstorm, Google it, come up with something, and test it out. If it doesn't work, try the next thing. And thanks for joining me for episode 2 of Discussions. Please give us a subscribe so that we can bring you some more content.